Hey, welcome back. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is the Unraveling Thread. You know, living in New York, you see the future arrive in these very specific, curated ways. A new electric bus glides silently down the avenue, and you feel a little surge of hope. You see the charging stations popping up, the sleek electric cars, and it feels like progress is tangible, clean, inevitable. We're told we're building a greener, more sustainable world, and I want to believe that. As an engineer, the innovation excites me. But as a storyteller, I've learned that every solution has a shadow. And today, I want to talk about the shadow of our green revolution. It's a story that doesn't start in Silicon Valley or a Berlin tech conference. It starts in the salt flats of South America, in the high deserts of Africa, in the dense forests of Southeast Asia. It's the story of what we're not being told about the lithium in our batteries, the cobalt in our phones, and the human cost being outsourced to what are becoming known as sacrifice zones. So, let's unravel this thread. The promise is seductive. Break our addiction to fossil fuels, save the climate, build a future powered by wind, sun, and lithium-ion batteries. It's a narrative of salvation. But this narrative has a geographic blind spot. The extraction of these critical minerals, lithium, cobalt, nickel, graphite, is overwhelmingly concentrated in the global south, in Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Indonesia. And the extraction process is anything but clean. In the lithium triangle of South America, mining companies pump massive amounts of salty brine from beneath arid plains into vast evaporation ponds. It takes about 500,000 gallons of water to produce a single ton of lithium. In regions that are already some of the driest on Earth, this is literally draining the lifeblood of indigenous communities. Water tables are dropping, livestock are dying, ancient ways of life are becoming impossible. These communities aren't experiencing the green future. They're living through an environmental crisis so that someone else can drive a Tesla. And this is where the lie becomes clear. We've simply swapped one form of extraction for another. We moved the environmental burden from our backyards to someone else's. We created what activists and researchers call sacrifice zones, places deemed expendable for the greater global good. The logic is chillingly colonial. The resources are there, the regulations are weaker, the people are poorer and less powerful, so the cost is acceptable. It's a form of green colonialism, where the energy transition is built on the same old patterns of exploitation. Think about the cobalt mines in the DRC, where a significant portion comes from dangerous, unregulated artisanal mines where child labor is rampant. That cobalt ends up in almost every rechargeable device on the planet. We've managed to construct a supply chain so long and so opaque that we can enjoy the end product with a clean conscience, while the true cost is paid thousands of miles away by people whose faces and stories we never see. But it's not just about the physical extraction. It's about the narrative extraction, too. The story sold to these nations is one of development and opportunity. Lithium will bring you into the 21st century, they're told. This is your oil. But too often, the profits are siphoned off by multinational corporations and corrupt local elites, while the pollution, the water scarcity, and the social disruption stay behind. The infrastructure built is for export, not for local communities. They get the toxic tailings ponds, not the high-tech batteries. They breathe the dust from the nickel smelters, not the clean air of an electric vehicle. This creates a brutal irony. The very countries bearing the heaviest environmental burden of this transition are often the ones least able to benefit from its end results. They are powering a future that is not designed for them. This hits home for me, personally. Growing up in Bangladesh, I've seen what it means to be on the receiving end of global decisions made far away. To be seen as a geography, a resource, a labor pool, rather than a tapestry of communities with rights and autonomy. And now, as an entrepreneur in the tech space here in New York, I'm uncomfortably aware that I'm on the consuming end of this same system. It creates a kind of moral whiplash. We are all, in some way, implicated. The question isn't about abandoning the green transition. That's not an option. The climate crisis is real, and it's devastating. The question is, can we pursue it with justice? Or will we just recreate the same brutal hierarchies under a green banner? I believe the answer lies in transparency and rethinking what we value. First, we need to demand radical transparency in our supply chains. As consumers and citizens, we should be pushing for legislation like the EU's proposed battery passport, which would track the carbon footprint and origin of materials. We need to support technologies that enable battery recycling and a true circular economy, so we're not perpetually digging new holes in vulnerable places. And most importantly, we have to amplify the voices of the communities on the front lines. They are not victims to be pitted, they are experts on their own land. Their free, prior, and informed consent must be the non-negotiable starting point for any project. This isn't about charity, it's about justice. It's about recognizing that a solution that requires sacrifice zones is not a solution at all. It's just a slower, more photogenic form of violence. The unraveling here reveals a fundamental truth. There are no technological fixes to deeply human problems. A battery is a marvel of engineering, but it is also a geological, political, and ethical object. The real innovation we need now isn't just a better chemistry, it's a better morality. It's designing systems that don't externalize their costs onto the powerless. The green future won't be delivered by a startup or a miracle mineral. It will be built, thread by thread, by choosing to see the entire tapestry, to acknowledge that the air in New York is connected to the water in the Atacama, and that our convenience is tied to someone else's survival. So the next time you see that electric bus or charge your phone, I invite you to hold two truths at once. Celebrate the ingenuity, and remember the cost. Let that memory make you a more demanding citizen, a more conscious consumer. The unraveling isn't meant to leave us with just a pile of thread. It's meant to show us how the fabric was woven in the first place, so we can weave a better one. Thanks for listening. I'm Abnul J. Farabi. If this conversation resonated with you, please share this episode. It helps us pull on these critical threads. For more from me and the team, visit Light Knot Studios at lightknotstudios.com. Until next time, take care.